Hello everyone. So in this new video lesson, I will be discussing a topic in statistics and probability all about areas under the normal curve. So this topic is under the subject statistics and probability na tinitake po ng mga grade 11 students in senior high school. So this lesson video is a Tagalog and English lesson video. Okay? So let's begin with our discussion. So the topic is again the area under the normal curve. So before we proceed, you must first be familiarized, or you must be familiar with the Z-score or the standard score. So kung hindi nyo pa po alam kung paano kumuha ng Z-score, meron po akong ginawang video lesson about how to get the Z-score. So the link is also can be seen dito po sa ating description ng ating video. So let's begin. So this is our normal curve, okay? Wherein at the middle is our mean. But this time, as you can see, meron po tayo nakikitang 0 at the middle. It's because these values are based on the Z-score. And the Z-score at the middle is 0. Now, may mga marks po tayo dito or markers dito po sa ating normal curve. We have this mark 1.00, 2.00, 3.00. On the left side, you have negative 1.00, negative 2.00, and negative 3.00. These are actually values po ng ating mga Z-score. Positive kapag siya ay nasa right side of the normal curve and negative kapag nasa left side. So, we will now be identifying the area under the normal curve. Now, the area bounded by 0 and the value 1.00, ito pong entire area pong ito, okay, yung na-enclose nila, is equal to 0.3413. This area is also the same as the area bounded by 0 and negative 1.00. Now, from 0 up to 2.00, the area is equal to 0.4772. So lahat po ng areang ito na enclose mula sa boundary ng 0 at 2.00 is 0.4772. Kasama na po dito yung una nating area at itong second area. The total is 0.4772. This is also the area bounded by 0 and negative 2.00. So nagkataon lang na negative ito kasi nasa left side. And then we also have 0.4987, the area from 0 to the mark 3. Okay? And also, this is also the same as the area from 0 to negative 3.00, 0.4987. So here are the areas. Now, because of the importance of areas under the standard normal curve, tables of those areas are being constructed. So ito po yung table natin. This is actually a table coming from MSA Academic Advancement Institution. Isa po siyang libro na reviewer for statistics and probability. Okay, so ito po yung ginagamit ko. You can also look for a copy of the table. Marami po sa internet. Okay po. So we are more concerned of identifying the area. So a 4 decimal place number in the table gives the area under the standard normal curve between 0 and a specified number Z or Z-score. So let's say you have this normal curve and then you have from the mean or from the middle, which is 0, up to a particular value of Z-score. And this shaded area is bounded by 0 and a particular value of Z-score. This is our concerned area. Area under the standard normal curve between 0 and Z. So how do we use this table and how do we look for the area under the normal curve using Z-score? So let's say we have a value 1.25. So that is our Z-score. So we look for the first two digit of our Z-score 1.2, and then the remaining 5 here is actually 0.05. Makikita po natin dito sa taas. Ayan po. And then you have the 1.2 and 0.05. So the sum of these two values is equal to 1.25. Then pagtatagpuin lang po natin silang dalawa, then we now get the area corresponding to Z-score 1.25, which is 0.3944. So let us now illustrate the graph. So this is our Z-score, wherein at the middle is 0, and our Z-score is 1.25. So this is positive, meaning the area is on the right side of the curve coming from the mean. So from 0 to 1.25, so this is the area that we're looking for, or we're going to identify, and that is equivalent to 0.3944. So the area bounded from 0 to 1.25 is 0.3944. Ngayon naman, what if our Z-score is not given, but we were given the value of X, the mean, and the standard deviation? So we have the X, mu, and standard deviation. So we can use these values to get the value of our Z-score. And by substituting X, mean, and standard deviation, we will get the value negative 1.13. So as you can see here, we have the exact value negative 1.125, pero niround off po natin siya into 2 decimal places or 2 decimal values because we are talking of Z-score. And we need to have 2 decimal values for Z-score, and then we look for it sa ating table. So negative 1.13 means our area bounded from 36 to 45 is on the left side of our mean, or left side of our mean, tama. So 1.13, so 1.1 and 0.03, pagtagpuin lang po natin, the area corresponding to the Z-score 1.13 is 0.3708. So let us illustrate the graph. So this is our Z-score, 0, negative 1, negative 2. Negative 1.13 is between negative 1 and negative 2. So this is our area. So this is negative 1.13 and 0. So this red shaded part of our graph is the area bounded by 0 and negative 1.13. And the area of this area rather is equivalent to 0.3708. Yan po yung area bounded by 0 and negative 1.13. So that is how we use the Z-score to look for the corresponding area in our table. This time, let us now apply the concept of Z-score and the area under the normal curve. So let's say, for example, for instance, we're going to look for the probabilities of the IQ level. Let's say we're talking about IQ level of those who have IQ level 100 to 105, or how many of the entire population have the IQ between 100 to 105. So based on our given, the mean is 100 and the standard deviation is 12. Since we're looking for the probability of the population that has the IQ level 100 to 105, that means our X is 105. So first, let us first get the Z-score. By substituting the values, we will arrive at the value 0.42. So ang gagawin lang natin, ipa-plot po muna natin yung graph. So as you can see here, the values now are not in terms of standard deviation, but rather in terms of actual values na po natin. So at the middle, we have 100 because it is the mean. And then as you can see, because our standard deviation is 12, so sa first mark natin, we add 12. So from 100, we have 112. Then add another 12, 124. And then another 12, 136. Ang nagde-determine po ng kanilang gap ay yung value ng ating standard deviation. So, our area is from 100 to 105. So, this is our two boundaries, 100 and 105. And then this is our concerned area. Since our Z-score is 0.42, by looking at the table, we can see that the area corresponding to 0.42 is 0.1628. So we can use now this probability, or rather this area, as our probability. So we can say that 16.28% of the population has an IQ level between 100 to 105. Now, let's talk about age. Let's say you have the entire population and then you identify that the mean is 42 with a standard deviation of 10. And then you are concerned with the probability of how many of the entire population have the age between 30 and 42 years old. So since the value of our mean is 42, that means 30 will be our X. So kunin po muna natin ang Z-score. Our Z-score is negative 1.20, meaning negative po siya. Yung area natin bounded by 30 and 42 is on the left side of the curve coming from the mean. So let us now illustrate the graph. So 42, pagpapunta tayo ng kaliwa, we subtract 10 because that is our standard deviation. So 42, 32, 22, and 12. And from the mean going to the right, we add 10. 52, 62, 72. But we are concerned with area bounded by 30 and 42. So ito po yung area natin. By looking at the area corresponding to the Z-score 1.20, it is now equal to 0.3849. Meaning, 38.49% of the population has the age between 30 to 42 years old. So that is how we apply the concept of area under the normal curve in probabilities. So let's have another example here. Let's say the grade 10 students of Santan Village National High School took NCAI. The result in the examination was normally distributed and the average score is 84 with a standard deviation of 4. Determine the probability of those who get the following scores. You have A, B, C, D, and E. So, punta po muna tayo sa letter A. We're going to identify the probability of those who got the score between 75 to 84. Since 84 is our mean and the standard deviation is 4, that means 75 will be our X. So, substituting the values to the formula of our Z-score, we will arrive at the answer negative 2.25. Negative. So it means ang area bounded by 75 to 84 ay nasa kaliwa or at the left side of our curve coming from the mean. So let us now illustrate the graph. So the mean is 84 and we are after the boundaries 75 and 84. So there is our 75. We're just simply going to shade the area bounded by 75 and 84. And by looking at the value of 2.25 of the area corresponding to the Z-score 2.25, it will be equal to 0.4878. Now, this area can be translated as our probability by converting this into percentage. So this will now become 48.78%. It means that 48.78% of grade 10 students scored between 75 to 84. Next, punta naman po tayo sa letter B. This time, we're going to get the probability of those who got the score 84 to 90. So again, ang 84 natin ang ating mean. So ibig sabihin, 90 will be our x. So substitute the values of x, mean, and standard deviation to the formula of our z-score. We will arrive at the answer, positive 1.50. So positive, ibig sabihin, our area bounded by 84 and 90 is on the right side of the curve coming from the mean. So this is our curve, 84 at the mean, and this is 90 between 88 and 92. They will be our boundaries, and let us now shade the area. The value of the area corresponding to 1.50 in the table is equal to 0.4332. So this area can be translated as our probability equal to 43.32%. That means 43.32% scored between 84 to 90. Now, for letter C, we are asked to get the probability of those who scored 75 to 90. So kung matatandaan po natin, in letter A, we already identified the area coming from 75 to 84. And previously, we already got the area from 84 to 90, and that is 0.4322. To get the area from 75 to 90, so we simply add the two areas. The one that we got from letter A added to the area that we got from letter B. So from 75 to 84 is 0.4878, and from 84 to 90 is 0.4332. The sum of these two areas will be the total area from 75 to 90. So we simply add the two areas and we will get 0.9210. So it means that 92.10% scored 75 to 90. So that will be our strategy in getting areas, in getting the sum of the areas of two different areas. Okay. So from 75 to 84, isang area. 84 to 90, isa ring area. So we simply add the two. Next, we are asked to get the probability mula naman sa 80 and 84. So pasensya na po sa pagtahol. Meron po kasi kaming alagang aso. Ayan po. So from 80 to 88, so nadadaanan natin yung 84. So ibig sabihin, dadaanan natin yung 84, nasa gitna yung 84, we will be needing 2 z-score or 2 z-scores. The strategy would be get the areas from 80 to 84 and 88 or 84 to 88. So get the 2 z-scores. So you can see numerically they are equal. The z-score from 80 to 84 is negative 1.00. Okay, wait lang po. Okay, pasensya na po sa ingay. Continue na po natin yung discussion. So we are now in illustrating the graph. So the distance from 84 to 80 is the same as the distance from 84 to 88. That's why they have the same value numerically for z-score 1 and z-score 2. So the area corresponding to 1.00 is equal to 0.3413, as well as the other one from 84 to 88 that is also 0.3413. So para po makuha natin yung area from 80 to 88, we simply add the two areas. So the sum is 0.6826, or that is equal to 68.26%. So 68.26% scored 80 to 88. For letter E, we are asked to determine the probability of those who scored 85 to 95. So as you can see, 85 to 95, our concerned area is not exactly coming from 84, or ibig sabihin hindi po nakadikit sa ating mean. So wala po tayong direct na areang makukuha sa table. But rather, if you're going to analyze, we will be having two areas pa rin. So ano po yun? Una, get the Z-score from 84 to 85. So this is the Z-score, 0.25. The corresponding area for 0.25 is 0.0987. Okay? So that 0.0987 is from 84 to 85. Ito po yun. 84 to 85. However, we are not concerned with this area. We don't need this area. We are only after the area from 85 to 95. And so, we know that the entire right side is equivalent to 0.05. So meaning, by the way, before that, kunin muna natin yung area from 84 to 95. That is 0.4970. So that is from 85 to 95. Okay, that is our larger area. So to get the area from 85 to 95, we must subtract the larger area with the smaller area, because hindi natin kailangan yung 84 to 85. So that is 0.4970 minus 0.0987 equals 0.3983. So this 0.3983 is the area bounded by 85 and 95. Okay, 0.3983. So that ends our part 1 of the discussion about the areas under the normal curve. So next to this, ito na po, tutuloy ko na po, didiretso ko na po, no? So this one is actually includes discussion about probability notation, pero i-end ko lang po siya hanggang areas under the normal curve. So I have here, I'll just share my screen first. Okay? So diretso po tayo dito. Okay? So let's say you have this given diagram, a normal curve wherein it is said that the mean is 80 and the standard deviation is 5. Okay? And our x is 87. However, the graph tells us that we are after the area from 87 and above. So we are asked to get the probability from 87 above. Or should we say, consider natin na parang ito yung score din kanina. What is the probability of those who got 87 and above? So the area from 87 and above, I have determined some steps or constructed steps to get the area from 87 and above. The first one is determine the Z-score from 80 to 87. Then determine the area bounded by 80 to 87. And then number 3, since the entire right side is 0.5, Subtract the area bounded by 80 to 87 from 0.5. So let's do this step by step. So for number 1, determine po muna natin yung z-score from 80 to 87. So we have already our x, our mu, that is our mean, and standard deviation. So using this value, we will get 1.40. So this is our z-score from 80 to 87. Second step, determine the area bounded by 80 to 87. That is equivalent to 0.4192. So this area, ito po yung area na hindi natin kailangan. So since our right side is equivalent to 0.5, that means this shaded area, the area that we were looking for, is the difference of 0.5 and this area from 80 to 87. So that is simply 0.5 minus 0.4192. That will give us the value 0.0808, or in probability that is 8.08%. Another scenario here, our graph tells us that we are asked, or rather we are asked to determine the probability of those who got 83 and below. So coming from 83, going to the left, kaya 83 and below. So this is our x, 83. Again, our mean is 5. And this 85, and the standard deviation is 5. So steps to get the area from 83 and below. Step 1, determine the z-score from 83 to 85. Ito po yun. Okay. Then after determining the z-score, of course, followed by the area bounded by 83 to 85. And then since the entire left side is 0.5, subtract the area bounded by 83 to 85 from 0.5. So using these three values, we do step 1. So the z-score is negative 0.40. The z-score from 83 to 85. And negative kasi nasa left side yung area from 83 to 85. And the value of this area by looking at the table corresponding to 0.40 is 0.1554. And then since the left side is equal to 0.5, to get the area of this shaded area, okay, we get the difference 0.5 minus 0.1554. We will get the value 0.3446, the area from 85 and below. Now, this graph tells us that it is not just simply the area from 83 to 85, but also included here is the area from 85 and above, or should we say the entire right side of the normal curve. So in short, we are asked to determine the probability of those who scored 83 and above. So from area from 83 and above, the first step would be determine the z-score from 83 to 85. Then followed by determining the area bounded by 83 to 85. That is this black shaded area. Since the entire right side is 0.5, this gray shaded area, the entire right side is 0.5. We add the area bounded by 83 to 85 to 0.5. So using these values of x, mean, and standard deviation, we can identify now our z-score. That is negative 0.40. And the corresponding area for the z-score is 0.1554. Here you go. So we simply add this with the entire right side, which is equivalent to 0.5. So for us to get the area from 83 and above, or the probability, we add the two areas, 0.5 plus 0.1554, we get 0.6554. So this is the area from 83 and above. So we can say that the area or the probability of those who got 83 and above is 65.54%. So that ends our discussion here about areas under the normal curve. So I hope this lesson video helps you a lot in understanding the areas under the normal curve. So una, kailangan intindihin lang din po natin or dapat familiar tayo on how to get the standard score or the Z-score. And then after getting the standard score or the Z-score, look at design kung siya ay positive or negative para malaman kung saan nakapwesto yung areang bounded na yon, bounded area. And then you look for the corresponding area of that particular Z-score sa table. And then you will identify that area and you can use it as your probability. So thank you very much for watching and see you again next time to my next lesson video in statistics and probability. Thank you very much, everyone, and God bless.